Welcome to PGK Kadam Academy. Let's watch Journey Through Story of Bloom's Taxonomy. The 6 levels of learning explained with each levels of questioning in the classroom or set for question papers and also explained with real-world examples. And important how to implement in students. Bloom's taxonomy is a framework for categorizing educational goals. This is created by Benjamin Bloom in the year 1956. This will help teachers and educators structure their lessons and assessments to encourage higher levels of thinking.
A classroom setting. Ms. Bloom, a wise and enthusiastic teacher, stands in front of a group of professional students, ready to take them on a learning adventure. Miss Bloom. Welcome. Here We Are Learning is a journey through 6 exciting levels of Bloom's taxonomy. Learning level of questioning not only enhances students' understanding of the material, but it also fosters critical thinking and problem-solving skills. Each level builds on the previous one, helping you grow from remembering facts to creating new ideas. Are you ready? Then watch full video till end. All students excitedly reply, "Yes, Miss Bloom." Let's start with the first level of questioning in the classroom according to Bloom's taxonomy is remember previously it called as knowledge. This base level involves recalling or recognizing information from memory. It's the most basic level of cognition where students are asked to remember facts, terms, basic concepts, or answers without necessarily understanding what they mean. Words or action verbs often used in remember questions often include know, who, define, what, name, where, list, duplicate, memorize, repeat, state, and when. Miss Bloom, our journey begins with remembering. This is where we recall facts and basic concepts. Who can tell me the capital of France? One student replied, Paris. Excellent. Remembering helps us lay a strong foundation. Try memorizing multiplication tables, historical dates, or the periodic table. Another great way to practice is by listing the main characters in a novel or repeating important vocabulary words in a new language. Miss Bloom asked question related to remembering level but related to engineering. Who can recall the formula for Ohm's law?
Anika gave an answer. Voltage equals current times resistance.
Now we study next level 2. Understand. It explain ideas or concepts. This level goes beyond simple recall of facts and asks students to explain ideas or concepts in their own words. Having important action verbs include classify, describe, discuss, explain, locate, recognize, report, select, and translate. Now let's move to understanding questions examples. Who can explain why plants need sunlight?
Student Sanvi replied, plants need sunlight for photosynthesis. That's how they make their food.
Miss Bloom, great! When you understand something, you can explain it in your own words. Other ways to practice understanding include summarizing a story's main idea, describing how a simple machine works, or interpreting a graph in a science experiment. Miss Bloom, now see question on engineering example. Why do bridges expand and contract in different temperatures?
Student Megha replied, because of thermal expansion. Materials expand when heated and contract when cooled, so engineers design expansion joints to prevent damage.
Let's study Bloom's taxonomy level 3 apply. At this stage, students are expected to use the information they have learned in new situations. Like questions. How would you demonstrate? How would you present? How would you change? How would you modify? Level 3, having action verbs. Execute, implement, solve, use, demonstrate, interpret, operate, schedule, sketch. Question on use action verb. Use Newton's laws of motion to explain how a model rocket works. This stage involves problem solving, implementing methods, and demonstrating how concepts can be used in real-world scenarios.
This level of questioning is important because it encourages students to go beyond simply recalling information and understanding concepts and to start applying this knowledge in practical ways. It promotes critical thinking and problem-solving skills and helps students see the relevance and applicability of what they are learning.
Miss Bloom, next in this level, 3 applying. Let's solve a real-world problem question. If you know that force equals mass times acceleration, how would you determine the force needed to push a heavy cart?
Student Isha replied, "We multiply the mass of the cart by how fast we want it to accelerate."
Miss Bloom, correct. Applying knowledge means using what you've learned in practical situations. You can also apply knowledge by writing a letter using proper grammar rules, using fractions to divide a recipe in half, or conducting a chemistry experiment based on known formulas. Now learn question with engineering example. If you need to build a circuit to power a small motor, how would you determine the required battery voltage?
Student Ravin given answer. I would use Ohm's law and check the motor specifications to ensure I choose the correct voltage and current.
Let's see question with level 3. Apply related to computer engineering. If you were asked to write a program that sorts a list of numbers, what sorting algorithm would you use?
Student Raju answered question, it depends on the size of the list. A simple bubble sort works for small lists, but for large data sets, I would use quicksort or mergesort for efficiency.
Now study some high difficulty, level 4, analyze. This will help to make connections among ideas. Keywords often used in analyze questions include compare, contrast, examine, classify, differentiate, organize, relate, distinguish, experiment, question, test, and breakdown. Sample question, level 4. Analyze. Examine the results of your experiment and record your conclusions. Miss Bloom says, now, let's exercise Analyze Bloom's taxonomy. This level involves breaking down information into its component parts for better understanding. Students are expected to differentiate, organize, and relate the parts to the whole. Can someone compare and contrast mammals and reptiles? Student Mia explain answer. Mammals have fur and give birth to live babies, while reptiles have scales and lay eggs. Miss Bloom replied, fantastic. Analyzing helps us see patterns and connections. Other examples include identifying the theme of a book by analyzing its characters, examining cause and effect in historical events, or dissecting the structure of a persuasive essay. Miss Bloom says, now question from level 4. Analyzing explained with the help of engineering example. How would you analyze the failure of a bridge under heavy load?
Student Kunal raised his hand and replied, I would check the materials used, the design calculations, and the impact of external factors like weather or excessive weight.
Miss Bloom says, let's see questions from computer engineering example for level 4. How would you analyze the performance of a web application under high user traffic?
Student Arav says, I would monitor CPU and memory usage, check for slow database queries, and analyze network latency to identify bottlenecks.
Now see Bloom's taxonomy with level 5. Evaluate, justify a stand or decision. Learners can assess and evaluate the value of information through critiques or investigation. They should be able to make judgments about information and ideas and be able to defend them. Some action verbs include appraise, argue, defend, judge, select, support, value, critique, weigh. Miss Bloom said, almost at the top, evaluating means making judgments. If you read 2 articles with different opinions, how do you decide which is more credible? Student Mia give an answer. I would check the sources and see if the authors have expert knowledge. Miss Bloom, exactly. Evaluating helps us make informed decisions. You can also evaluate by grading an essay based on a rubric. Ranking the best strategies for solving a math problem or debating the pros and cons of a government policy. Miss Bloom lets clear more idea with engineering example. If you were comparing two different materials for constructing a skyscraper, what factors would you evaluate?
Student Lucy says, I would look at their strength, weight, cost, and resistance to weather conditions.
Lastly, Bloom's Taxonomy Level 6. Create. Produce new or original work. Learners can synthesize existing knowledge to produce concepts and ideas of their own. Learning activities that bring students to this level can be more creative. Action verbs include design, assemble, construct. Conjecture, develop, formulate, author, investigate. Miss Bloom says, we've reached the final level, creating. This is where we put ideas together to make something new. Imagine you're designing a futuristic school. What would you include?
Student Mia replied, answer. A classroom with virtual reality and AI tutors.
Wonderful. Creativity is where learning truly shines. Other examples include composing a song using musical theory, inventing a new gadget to solve a common problem, or writing an alternate ending to a famous novel. Miss Bloom drive questions with engineering example. Real-world problem like design a new energy-efficient transportation system for a crowded city. What features would it have?
Student Rohit replied, it could use magnetic levitation to reduce friction, solar panels for energy, and smart AI traffic control.
And that's Bloom's Taxonomy. A journey from remembering to creating. The more you practice each level, the better you'll become at thinking and learning. All students cheering. Thank you, Miss Bloom. You can celebrate this learning journey, excited to apply their new skills. Please share, like, and subscribe. Thank you.